And welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the Memphis Grizzlies episode. So, as you can probably guess, we are going to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies' all-time starting five, which, if you think about it, doesn't really span that long of a time compared to a lot of the teams we've talked about. And Memphis is one of the newer teams in the NBA, but we're going to get it started anyway. And the only housekeeping thing I have today is, unfortunately, Drew is not with us today. He had a scheduling conflict, so hopefully he'll be back next week and we could move on with all five of us. But we're just going to do a four-man episode tonight, and let's get started on the Memphis Grizzlies. Wade, who is your all-time point guard?
Well, I went back and forth between a couple guys.
I bet I can guess those couple guys.
Possibly. But I think I'm going to land on Conley.
No white chocolate?
No white chocolate.
Oh, okay.
We need good players, not fancy passers.
Mike Conley. All right, I like Conley a lot, actually.
Yes.
So
Good.
I also have Mike as my point guard.
Ooh. So
I
that's
do
two.
not, actually.
Well, I went back and forth between him and one other guy, and they're extremely similar. And I really like the other guy. But I'm guessing he's going to come up, so I won't go any further. But for a couple reasons, I ended up going with Conley. I'll explain when we're done.
All right, well, Conley played 12 seasons at Memphis, averaging 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. He made an all-defensive team while in Memphis. He has since moved on and played in Utah, and then he played part of a season in Minnesota this year. Obviously, that doesn't really play into what we're talking about, but I just thought I'd throw that in there.
And he was the floor general for probably their most successful run as a franchise. He was the head point guard.
I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, I don't think that's much of a debate, is it? That is the most successful part, or
Yeah.
the most successful run of their franchise. That
the
the
grind.
grit and grind.
Well, unless you're just
Grizzlies.
counting now, because they've made a couple second rounds, like just now.
Yeah.
That would be the only.
Well, they might be able to have their most successful run right now, but they can't stay healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
Or out of legal trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, it's
That
one
too.
other thing. But anyway, that's pretty much it on Mike Conley.
Yeah, I like Conley. And you said you had him too, Uncle Doug?
Yep.
All right. Well, I will then move to Ray here. Ray, who's your point guard?
Ja Morant.
He's also mine.
That is also Drew's.
That is my shooting guard.
That is my shooting guard.
Right up.
So Morant's on the team.
So I just typed in Ja. That's it.
Uh,
No Morant, no nothing yet. And the things that come up on Google is Ja Morant gun.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, that's what he's been in the news for
Holy cow.
past few months.
Yeah.
That's always been, yeah. Big old dummy.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody talking about them slashing and going to the rim and dunking. Talking about that waving a hand with the gun.
Well, Ray, you want to tell us a little about Ja?
Probably most currently famous Memphis Grizzly at the moment. Exciting player. Doesn't give two fucks about his body. He will just bulldoze you and dunk in your face. 22 and 22.4, 4.8 rebounds, and 7.4 assists. Is probably second to probably Conley in assists, but I thought maybe Ja was a little more balanced, so I went ahead and went with Ja as the point guard.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that Ja averages more assists a game than Conley. It actually kind of surprised me.
Oh, was it?
He did
Oh,
me
does
too,
he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When Conley was the point, they ran a lot of the offense through the post, and then Gasol would kick it through a lot of places too.
Oh.
Yeah,
was
Gasol
fun.
had some nice assists seasons out of the center spot.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of put him with the elbow and played Randolph on the post and Conley and those guys around the perimeter.
And Conley would go post up for a kick out or whatever, and they would take turns, like
Yeah.
running through the offense.
Ja has also made a couple All-Star games and All-NBA. He was Rookie of the Year, and he had a Most Improved Player award while in his seasons in Memphis.
I mean, he's one of the up and coming superstars of our league if he can stay out of trouble. I mean,
He is.
He's probably the most exciting player in the NBA right now.
That's kind of what made me lean towards Ja over Conley, even though I like Conley more probably, is just because, like, I would say Ja is a superstar, and Conley was never that.
No.
Conley really wasn't even ever, or he wasn't ever an all-star. So, like, that was kind of the deciding factor. I mean, Ja does average more points and more assists and more rebounds. So, the one thing I think Conley really does have on him is he's a much better shooter.
Defender.
And probably, yeah, defender, yes.
Conley was a very good defender. Morant's
subpar.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Anybody else have anything to add on Ja before we move on? I mean, I know you two put him at shooting guard, so.
Mm.
So that was you two, right? Not Drew?
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Drew
Drew
has
has
Ja
a
at
point guard. Okay. So Ja has 5 votes, so he's actually technically
He's
on
on.
the team.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the position. All right, so I guess we're to me for my shooting guard. And my shooting guard is Mike Miller.
Nope.
I thought adding a knockdown shooter is never a bad thing. I really did think about doing the Conley Morant backcourt. The size just made me wince a little bit, having 2 small guards on the perimeter. So I went with Mike Miller, whose seasons at Memphis, his averages are 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 47% from the field and 42% from 3. Also, I don't know where he did some of this stuff. He won a 6th Man of the Year. I don't know if that was in Memphis or not. He won Rookie of the Year, but that was at Orlando. I know that. He's also a 2-time NBA champ, but those came with Miami. But Mike Miller is 6'8", 220, so a much bigger, stockier guy to deal with wings defensively. Even though he's not a great defender, he's a better defender than Ja. And he has the size to deal with some guys.
Well, he was one of the guys I looked at small forward. I didn't end up picking him, but I took a hard look at him.
Yes, and as I already mentioned, he played for Orlando, and I was bummed when we got rid of him. I like Mike Miller.
Yeah, I always liked him too.
So, all right. Well, I guess we have 2 more shooting guards to go.
Yeah.
So, Ray, who's your shooting guard?
Rudy Gay.
Oh, Rudy Gay.
Oh, that's another guy
I looked at him for small
forward.
forward. I didn't really
Yeah.
look at him for shooting guard, but yeah, Rudy Gay is he had some good run there.
And I'm the only one on that one?
I think so.
Holy crap.
Drew had Rudy Gay at small forward.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I don't have Rudy Gay.
Neither
I
do
don't
I.
either.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see. 17-9, 5.8, and 2 assists with 1.3 steals. I thought it was just like a pretty safe pick for shooting guard. That was probably his prime, was the Memphis Grizzlies. Because once he got to, Sacramento, he just fell the fuck off.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I mean, he averaged 19 and 6 in Sacramento.
Really?
Yeah.
He averaged around 20 points for probably, 8 years straight, probably? Between 15 to 20,
Yeah,
probably.
he also averaged 19 and 6 at Toronto for 2 seasons.
Yeah. His biggest thing was he was always a good stat, bad team guy. Everywhere he went, they lost, but he put up
And he
20.
was kind of a black hole. The reason Memphis traded him was because Gasol and Randolph and Conley were so much more efficient than him, but he wanted the damn ball all the time. They actually got better after they traded him.
Yeah, so that's when they started their playoff runs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always heard about him on Memphis. Then when he left Memphis, it's just like, you didn't hear shit from him.
Yeah, well, Toronto and Sacramento, we don't get a lot of info on.
Yeah, that's true, too.
The
yeah.
one year when Kawhi was in Toronto, we got to see him a bit. But
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get a ton of shine.
And he made a all-rookie team in Memphis. By the way, I I remember on draft night, the year that Rudy Gay was drafted, I was so irritated because that was when T-Mac had gone to Houston. So I was like following T-Mac really closely in Houston. And Houston drafted Rudy Gay. And then immediately traded him for Shane Battier. And I was like, no, this is stupid, so stupid. Like, we don't need, I say we like it was my team, but like, Houston, or T-Mac doesn't need another role player that comes out and plays defense and does nothing else. Like, he needs somebody to put the ball in the basket. And I was so mad when they did that.
Well, that's one thing Rudy Gay could do. He could score.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody else have anything to add on Rudy before we move on?
Yeah.
So I guess we need Drew's shooting guard.
Drew's shooting guard is O.J. Mayo.
Oh.
The guy
I was
that's been
not expecting OJ Mayo.
the guy that's been banned from the NBA.
Yeah, I can't tell you what his numbers are because he caught me off guard when I saw him. Like,
OJ Mayo.
I remember OJ Mayo as being like the greatest high school prospect ever, and
Yeah.
then being a flop in the NBA. That's kind of what I remember before.
I got his numbers pulled
Wait,
up.
did he go to USC for a year?
Yes, he did.
yes, he did. Yeah.
Okay.
OJ Mayo's numbers in Memphis are 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists on 43% for the field, 37 from 3. So
Okay.
some
That's respectable.
decent numbers on some kind of efficiency.
Wasn't it him that was touted like the next up
Yeah.
and coming all-time great guard?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
yeah.
like
Out of high
he was the
school.
number 1 rated high school prospect. He was just supposed
Oh, yeah.
to
He was,
like, all
tear
over
everything up.
ESPN and-
He went to USC and I think just had a good year but not great at USC, and then came to the NBA and he did come to the NBA and do well for a couple years. Again, kind of good stats, bad team guy, because his rookie season he was like 18-3 or something like that.
That's not bad.
You know, and he was all rookie team, but he didn't win rookie of the year. I don't know who won rookie of the year that year. 18-3 is a pretty nice rookie season. Let's look at that.
What year was it?
08-09.
He's also famous for that clip where he tries to talk shit to Michael Jordan at a camp, and it's like
Yes.
it's like what 48-year-old Michael Jordan, and
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Jordan works his ass over at like in his mid to late 40s, and OJ Mayo's the number 1 rated high school kid in the country.
Derrick Rose won rookie of the year.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, OJ Mayo. I didn't think we'd see an OJ sighting today.
Not, his stats are better than I thought they'd be, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't think we'd see OJ Mayo. But I mean, that's this franchise, man. Who look at some of those fucking names up there.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
a
we
little
had
rough.
quite a few guys already too, and we're only through 2 positions.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, well,
hey, what he get banned for again? I forget.
Coke. He
Oh.
couldn't stay off the Coke.
Mm.
Yeah, you'd think we're talking about the 70s, but
Yeah. I
no,
was
we're
saying,
talking about the
he'd fit in
2000s.
the 70s.
So I believe we're back to Wade now. Wade, who's your small forward?
I actually went Sharif Abdul-Rahim.
Yeah.
He is my small forward.
Yeah.
Mine as well.
All right. I always kind of remembered him more as a 4, but I was real little, so I don't really know if that's even fully correct. But on some of the stuff I read, it listed him at power forward and small forward. And then I went back and started looking at some like videos and stuff, and he did some stuff around the perimeter, so I don't think it's unrealistic in my opinion.
I kind of think if it was a power forward too, Wade, I agree. But not only is he listed as a small forward on Basketball Reference, but I went back and looked at some of the Memphis lineups, and they were literally playing him at small forward at times,
so he
like
did
starting
both.
him at small forward because
Yeah.
I think he was playing with Bryant Reeves,
Yes, Big Country.
yeah, Big Country, and somebody else.
Was Bibby or Jason Williams there at guard? And then
Well, yeah, but I was talking about the other big guy.
oh,
Was it Powell? Was Powell and Big Country and him there at the same time?
Was Raheem just strictly Vancouver, or did he mesh over to Memphis?
Just Vancouver.
Rather Vancouver. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
he put up. He was a around 20 and 10 guy.
Yeah.
His numbers in
20.9 and 8.2.
yeah,
So I mean,
20 points, 8
almost.
rebounds, 3 assists, a steal and a block,
but
46%, 29% from 3, 80% for the free throw line.
I mean, that's a really nice stat line, but he's also another guy who's been deemed a good bad team guy for his career.
Yeah, he played for Vancouver and Atlanta for his prime.
Yeah.
So I mean, you weren't going to get a lot of winning in those places.
But I mean, that's how he's perceived by everyone. But he did put up some nice numbers for a decent amount of time.
He did, and playing him at the 3 is one of the bigger reasons I put Mike Miller at the 2, because I was like, we're going to play 3 non-shooting bigs. So
Yeah.
4 of us had Raheem at small forward.
Yep.
And then who had Rudy Gay?
Drew.
Drew, okay. Drew is an interesting team. So he has Ja, OJ Mayo, and Rudy Gay.
Yep.
Bunch of ball hogs, man.
He went with the all idiot team. Damn.
I didn't think of it that way, but yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'd like to see how those 3 get along in the locker room.
It might be scary. They might be best friends. You
Yeah,
never
they might be.
One's got a gun, one's got some cocaine.
It's a party.
Oh, God, we got off track quick.
Yes, we did.
All right.
All right, so I guess we're at power forward. Uncle Doug, who's your power forward?
Zach Randolph.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not mine.
He's mine as well.
Is he Drew's?
Yes, he's also Drew's.
So I'm the only one.
Yeah.
Booyah.
Oh.
So I guess I know who Alex has picked for the last 2 guys.
Yeah. More than likely.
Yeah.
Which one's in which position?
Yeah.
It don't really matter.
Uncle Doug, you want to tell us a little bit about?
Well, Zach had almost 17 points a game, a little over 10 rebounds, a couple assists, and he's one of the first people I think of when I think Memphis, because I mean he was just
Amen.
like the enforcer. He
beat you up down low, and that's
Yes,
how he
he
got
did.
his buckets. And he fought for rebounds, and this is another 2010 guy that in his prime. Like he was.
There's a lot of guys in the NBA that talk tough, but
He was tough.
Zach Randolph was tough.
He told DeMarcus Cousins one day when they're next to each other during a free throw, because DeMarcus Cousins was trying to bully someone else, and Zach Randolph went down and they caught it in the microphone. And he said, "Where I come from in my hood, bullies get bullets." DeMarcus Cousins just looked up at him and quit talking, and just put his head back down.
Well, here's the other thing though too.
That's why
In like the current NBA, Zach Randolph is one of the few guys I remember throwing actual punches.
Yeah.
like people were scared of Zach Randolph.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
That's why he's called Zebo.
yes,
right.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. He was something else.
Like he beat you up down low, and he got hard, dirty buckets, and that's what he was great at. And he was one of the main clogs in the grit and grind Grizzlies. Him and Allen were the 2 physical enforcers on that team, and the other guys had their own roles, but they kind of set the tempo for their greatest team run. The grit and grind Grizzlies.
He also made 2 All-Star teams in Memphis. He has 1 All-NBA. I'm going to assume it came in Memphis, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
He had a couple nice Portland years.
He did. He had a couple really nice Portland years. He did.
Did he have a
Yeah.
New York Knicks year?
Yes.
I thought he had. Is it one? Like a half a season or?
No,
one
he played
season?
a season and a half.
Oh, okay.
So he was there for a season, and then he played part of another season. But that season he played in New York, he averaged 17 and 10. So,
Yeah.
but the season before that in Portland, he was 23 and 10.
Yeah, I knew he had a couple of nasty years, and because when they had their best run, when they were trying to beat Shaq and Kobe's Lakers, it was he came right after that, correct? Or was he?
I think
there
he was there. He just didn't play a bunch
So
because
that was when he first
he
got
came.
drafted?
I think he was a young, because he came out of high school.
So he was a bench player on
Yeah,
those teams.
I think he was a bench player behind Sheen, Sabonis, those guys.
Because there was a bunch of the young players on those teams that went on to their next era, like him and Bonzi Wells, and Sheed had already become like a star, but he was young, and he went with them to the next phase.
Yeah, like the guys, like the young guys that were supposed to be the next up and coming of those teams, like you said, Zebo, Bonzi Wells, Martell Webster, some of those guys.
There was like another good one that I thought sat on the bench during that.
Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, Jermaine O'Neal. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like they had some legit young guys on the bench because they were starting Pippen and Sabonis and Damon Stoudemire. Wait, was Damon Stoudemire?
Yeah,
there?
Damon Stoudemire.
Damon
yeah.
Stoudemire and
What was the
did they have Isaiah
Ruben
Ryder?
Patterson?
Ruben Patterson.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The Kobe
Kobe
stuff.
The Kobe stopper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, those young guys that came on around that time or right after. Yeah. But really sidetracked it there again. Just-
All right. Well, I think everybody can guess here who my power forward is. It's Pau Gasol.
Okay. He's my center.
yeah,
He's
he's
my
my
center.
he's my center.
And he's Drew's center.
All right.
So does that mean he's all the T because he has 5?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, Powell's in.
Well, his numbers in Memphis are 18 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and almost 2 blocks on 51% shooting and 73 for the free throw line. He was all Memphis had there for a few years. And, yeah, I mean, then he went on to have success with LA later, too, as well, obviously. But before that, he was kind of considered, good stats, bad team guy until he went somewhere and did it where they won. He had a couple big seasons at Memphis. He did win Rookie of the Year in Memphis. He made a couple All-Star teams. I don't know if any of his All-NBAs came there or not.
He might have squeaked one out there, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he has 4 for his career. I just don't know how many, were they all 4 in LA or did one of them come in Memphis? I don't know.
I don't
He
know.
definitely started getting more recognition when he went to LA, so it's a
Absolutely.
possibility. I mean, what he did in LA is the reason why is he in the Hall of Fame already?
He's the Laker Hall of Fame. I don't think did he make the NBA Hall of Fame?
He might have made it. I think
I don't know if he. I'm not sure.
I can't remember when he retired.
'Cause the Lakers just retired his number.
He might not be
Right,
eligible
yeah.
yet. He just retired a couple years ago, didn't he?
Let's see here.
I can't even remember now.
He retired after the 20. So
So no,
Oh, so
No.
no, he wouldn't. Hadn't been
But-
5 years yet.
I think he'll end up at some point getting in the Hall of Fame, in my
Oh,
opinion.
I think he will.
I think he will too.
And he'll be a Hall of Fame big man because of LA, but LA traded for him to win championships because of what he showed in Memphis.
Right. They recognized his talent.
Yeah.
and said,
Yeah.
Well, Kobe recognized his talent
Yeah.
and said, I want him.
Yeah.
And he and Kobe were really close.
Well,
Extremely skilled big man.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Very skilled.
I think Kobe realized he needed a big, but he didn't want a big like Shaq. He wanted a big man that was a good passer and things like that, which Pau
get out of the
Gasol was.
paint.
You could put it with the
Right.
elbow and let him facilitate and things like that.
He could move.
he could-
I mean, he wasn't
yeah.
just going to stand there and clog things up. He could move, attack the rim.
And
But
he could
Kobe
shoot the
also-
mid-range, too, which opened up
Yes.
the paint.
But Kobe also had to put in work on Pau because he had to toughen Pau up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He
Because
did.
Pau was one of those foreign guys that came over here and played really weak for a while.
Yeah.
Well, I think during their first run, when the Celtics got them the first time, I think the Celtics kind of beat the shit out of him down low.
They did. They
Yeah.
did.
And then he came back the next year, and he matched their physicality, and I think that's one of the main reasons they beat
Yeah.
the Celtics the next year.
I mean, Pau was never going to be like Zebo,
No.
but just don't shy away from the contact.
Right.
Is really what Kobe needed him to do because they had, I mean, in a couple of years, like when they played the Magic the year after that, Gasol did get some time on Dwight, but Bynum was
Right.
going to draw that big physical guy for the most part, and then Odom came in and got some time as
Yeah.
well. Like they weren't gonna just tell Gasol, hey, go get a big bruiser like Dwight and body him up for 40
Right.
minutes. Like that wasn't going to be his role, but
Well, and that's one reason why I put Zach and Pau together, because I think they make a great combination.
Me too.
'Cause Zach can do the physical part, and Pau can do the more finesse.
Yeah.
And I think they make a great combination.
Yeah.
Because really, Pau's a pretty good off-ball defender. He's good with his help defense.
He's a shot blocker that Zach isn't.
Right. He averaged 1.8 blocks for his career, and so he, he'd help out and block that shot.
I thought they complement each other perfectly.
I
That's
did
why I
too.
put him on there. You have the guy that's the physical down low monster, and the finesse can spread things out a little bit, can facilitate, can do a little bit of everything guy and Pau. I think they wouldn't get in each other's way because Powell doesn't have to just stand in the paint, and I think it would work really nice.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Well, I'm the only one with a center left, which I think is obvious, is Marc Gasol.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought long and hard about
Yeah,
that.
I almost put him on it.
I put the
Howard.
Gasol brothers together because, first off, that's just cool.
Yeah.
But second off, for a lot of the same reasons you guys just said about Zebo, Mark is a huge bruiser.
Oh, yeah.
Their numbers are very similar. He's at 15 points to Zebo's 16, so not much of a difference there. He does only average 7 rebounds instead of 9. But his 3 assists, he's also, I like it. I don't like big men that don't block shots. It bothers me. Both of Gasol's block shots. The other difference is Mark shoots the 3 at almost 35% in Memphis. Later in some of his stops, he shoots over 40% from 3. But in Memphis, he's at 35, almost 35. And he's more efficient inside there too at 48. So that's kind of what I did there. The more efficient player, the better defender. That's why I went with Mark.
Well, I think it's interesting, too, that they were traded for each other.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Yeah. Mark was part of the package that the Lakers sent to Memphis to get Powell.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was really excited when the Lakers drafted Mark.
Yeah.
That's going to be all right. But then they traded him to get Powell, which worked out great. But
Well, Powell just fit Kobe's timeline better.
yes, he did.
All right. Well, that is all of our players that all of us have. So, 2 players are on. Ja and Powell both have 5 votes.
Yep.
All right. So, but we don't know the position because they're both split over 2 different positions. So we have nobody guaranteed at a position.
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
Actually, we do.
We do.
Raheem at small forward, because the one vote for Rudy Gay at small forward is Drew, and he's not here.
Oh, that's true. So that,
Small
all right,
forward.
Sharif Abdul-Rahim was our small forward.
Yeah, so I'd say we're locked in there.
all right. Well, to make matters easier, I'm gonna go ahead and take Gay off.
Off your shooting guard.
Yeah.
All right, look at that. Rudy Gay is off.
And then who am I gonna put for?
I think Rudy Gay. We did Rudy Gay justice. I mean, we
Yeah.
we mentioned him as an all-time great on a franchise. I mean, come on.
Wow, that says a lot about the franchise. But we actually talked about him for quite a while.
Come on, come to Mike.
Do the Conley Morant backcourt,
Yeah, because I'm putting my vote for Conley.
and then go
That's
to.
different positions, though.
He's got.
Yeah,
he's
but you
got to
have
put his
Morant in
Morant
2 different
vote.
positions though too.
He had to swap Morant in order to get a shooting guard.
But you're gonna have to take your Morant vote off then.
He's got to add one to Morant as shooting guard.
Yeah, shooting guard. Drop your point.
Well, I already voted for
point to
Morant for
2.
point guard. That's what I mean, though.
That's what I'm saying. But now you voted for 2 point guards.
So now I'm going to vote for Morant twice. Is what you're saying?
No, I'm saying you took off a shooting guard and added
I'm-
a point guard. You need to.
No, I understand that I took off a shooting guard. What I'm saying though is, you want me to vote for Morant twice because I'm not
No.
voting for Miller and I'm not voting for OJ.
No, we're just figuring out who do you want at the point and who you want at shooting guard. Just you want Conley and Morant,
the
right?
2 Morant
Oh.
votes at shooting guard are Wade and I.
Yeah.
Right? No, that's what I'm saying. Though I got that vote. I'm going to that vote.
Okay, so you're on the Conley Morant backcourt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll just leave it at that. Okay.
So there we go.
I don't know.
We're still at six votes.
I know, but I can't double vote for Morant. Is what I'm saying. Because I have Morant for point guard.
Well, then take him off the point guard and put him on shooting guard.
Or move Conley to shooting guard. Or
Yeah, I'll do that. We'll just make that easier.
it don't matter which one plays what.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
matter.
Okay.
I'm good either way.
All right. Does anyone want to fight for OJ Mayo?
I think Drew's not here, so I'm afraid he's out.
Yeah, he's out too. But
Okay.
also, we were moving Gay from small forward, right?
No, my gay vote was on shooting guard. That's why
I know,
put
but we already said that
You-
Drew's
you
vote
can
doesn't
take
count.
Drew's.
So,
Oh,
it
okay. Boy, this is getting to be a struggle here, ain't it?
So-
I'd say we can take OJ off at shooting guard.
Yeah.
Sorry, Drew, but
He just had a lot of ones, so he
Yeah.
kind of got picked on a little bit.
All right, so there we go.
Well, here's a suggestion.
Okay.
If Alex is willing to come to us with the guards, will we be willing to go with him with the Gasol brothers, and then we're done?
I mean, yeah, I can get on board with that.
Everybody
That's
cool with
not
that?
I could
Yeah.
do that.
Okay, so we're going with Conley, Morant, and then Powell and Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
All right,
get
I'm cool
you
with
get
it.
the big guy,
Yeah.
we get the
All
guard.
right. I'm cool
Yeah,
with that.
I can do that.
Yeah,
And
that's cool.
it's not like there's a huge difference between Mark and Zebo. I mean, as
Right.
far as how good they were.
Yeah.
Same. We're thinking the same thing. We
Yeah.
want Powell. We need somebody big and strong. to
Yeah.
go with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm good with that.
All right.
all right. That's
Well, we just simplified the crap out of that.
it's the Grizzlies.
That's really, dude.
It's the Grizzlies. All right. So now that the roster is final. Who do you think wins, Charlotte or Grizzlies?
Charlotte.
I don't know. I gotta sit here and think.
Okay, so
Morning's better than Mark.
yeah.
Then you got Larry,
Larry
Johnson.
Powell that's an interesting one.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
that-
Larry Johnson would go through Powell's chest on just about every play.
Yeah.
But Powell also
Yes.
would just shoot over top of him.
That's
Yeah.
true.
He's
too.
that nice little elbow jumper Powell had.
Yeah, and Larry Johnson's 6'2" ass ain't getting up there. And then Raheem and Rice would be a battle. One would be stroking, one would be taking it into the basket, and they'd both be having similar production.
Yeah.
Eddie Jones, Morant. Morant's probably a little better, but Eddie is a more complete player.
Then you got Kimba. Kimba versus Conley.
Kimba and Conley, yeah. So Kimba would probably make up for the scoring that Morant got on
Yeah.
Eddie.
So maybe it's a little more
Could be a
even
fun
than we
game,
thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That could be interesting. I don't know.
All right.
But again, we're talking about these maybe our two worst teams.
Oh, they are.
Oh, yeah.
That's why we're talking about them. They're the two worst ones we've made. One in the East, one in the West, baby. We know who our final seeds are. And there might be a couple other franchises that might contend with these guys.
So I just want to repeat it to make sure everybody got it, since we didn't actually say it all at once. Our all-time starting five for the Memphis Grizzlies is Mike Conley, Ja Morant, Sharif Abdul-Rahim. I was trying to make sure I got his first name right. Pau Gasol and Mark Gasol. So, yes.
I don't think it's going to get much better with the players we had to work with there.
Yeah.
I think we made the most out of it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that will wrap up our Memphis Grizzlies talk for this episode. Only 32 minutes in. But we decided to change it up just a little bit since the finals is over. We're going to talk about the lottery. Just who got what picks. Maybe some quick talk about each of them, maybe, and just bust out some lottery talk real quick and get out of this episode for everybody.
Woo.
So I think the most obvious thing to talk about, because everybody, is so enamored with Wembanyama, so he'll go number one overall, everybody assumes. The Spurs got the number one overall pick,
Right.
which I think is, really
Crazy.
interesting to see Wembanyama play for Popovich.
Yeah.
They've had two number one overall picks before as big guys, and Robinson and Duncan.
And
Crazy.
Pop loves foreign players.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He gets a lot out of them. It's like what he is great at.
So, yes, I think that'll be a very interesting thing to see if that maybe revitalizes San Antonio, if it revitalizes Pop to stick around for a few more years, how Wembanyama develops, and the big question for me is, does Wembanyama stay healthy?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So he's like, now they've got him listed at 7'5", and he's so skinny.
And he's
He
agile. He's not just posting up. He's doing guard stuff and post up stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's just a lot. When you're that long, it seems to be a lot on your ankles and feet and knees, and I hope he stays healthy, but it just is scary.
I mean, we just haven't seen guys stay healthy that look like that. I mean, Chet's already been hurt.
Yeah.
Porzingis has been routinely hurt.
Durant.
Durant's
Currently.
been hurt a lot.
Durant did good for like 12 years.
Well,
Yeah.
But he's the exception, really. How many big, tall, lanky guys that play like guards stay healthy. I mean, we just don't see it. Yes, I think it'd be great if he comes in and it does cool stuff. I'm not, but I just don't know. If
it is scary. There is a lot of bad cases. But if he ends up being as good as everybody thinks he is, one, the fact that they get David Robinson, Duncan, and Wembanyama is just not fucking fair.
Yeah, for real.
That's so ridiculous. But
well, somebody's GM said the other day. I think it was Broussard that said it. Maybe somebody's GM said no. It was Woj. Woj reported it that in 3 years, Wembanyama will be a top 5 player in the NBA.
I'm not going
That's
that
kind of
far,
a bold
but
statement without him playing a game.
Well, Woj said at the lottery that he was the greatest prospect in the history of sports.
I did see
Oh
that.
my god!
Which I'm not even sure he's the greatest basketball prospect, but not sports is a big swing.
Yeah,
That's a very large swing.
Now, I will say this though: if I just don't tell you who I'm talking about, if I just say, "Hey, I've got a guy that has guard skills. He can dribble. He can shoot the three. He could go down and grab boards. He can, shoot the mid range. He posts up, and he's also 7'5". You're like, holy shit! That's a lot of potential.
You think of a created player on it.
Yes, exactly.
That's what you think of. I mean, his attributes. That might be like the craziest combination we've ever seen. But I mean, the first person I think of, like when they said that initially, was LeBron.
Right.
And on other podcasts I listen to, they're like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They're like, those guys were the two biggest, most unstoppable things anyone had ever seen at a high school level. Yeah. And then going into college, like, well, I mean, obviously LeBron didn't go to college, but Jabbar did. And it's like, let's just calm down a little bit. I mean, LeBron's high school games started getting aired on ESPN before that was ever a thing. Yeah. Because he was LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, he started it. He's the reason we have to watch that shit sometimes now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because so many people wanted to see LeBron play that, then yeah. And he was phenomenal in high school. He was an all-around, he passed, he played defense. He obviously, no one's stopping him. He's the most athletic guy in the world at his age. I mean, LeBron was a more complete high school player than I think Wembanyama is right now, as far as overall skill already.
I will say this, though. Wembanyama's team has played in the championship in Europe.
And I think Wembanyama will come in and dominate on defense right away, if he can stay healthy.
Pretty stupid log.
Yeah, and he's athletic. Like, I think he'll do great on defense. I just think the offense might take a couple years to just get used to everything and develop the playmaking and all the little stuff.
I think if the Spurs are smart, it won't be like this coming year's rookie season. It won't be, we'll give Wemby the ball, get out of the way. It'll be, you get your buckets where you could get them. We're not going to run the offense through you.
Yeah. He needs to learn, first of all, even just learn the way they play in the NBA. It's a lot different than where he's played.
Right. All right, well, let's get off the very first pick. We've been talking about it a hot minute here. Number 2 pick goes to the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte may be the saddest franchise in the league right now.
Oh, my God, yeah.
They do have one up-and-coming star, maybe, in LaMelo Ball, but LaMelo can't stay healthy. He's had health problems pretty much every year of his career. So be interesting to see what they do there. Scoot Henderson and what's his name from Alabama are like
Brandon Miller.
Yeah, Brandon Miller are the guys that's supposed to go after Wemby.
The Hornets are so bad. Whichever one they take will help the team.
I mean, you're right, but at the same time, I kind of feel like, I know you don't draft by need necessarily this high in the draft, but if the only player you have that's worth a shit is a point guard, do you take another point guard, Scoot Henderson?
I mean, maybe, because, LaMelo is like, what, 6'6", 6'7", so he could guard twos, Scoot could guard the ones, and Scoot's more of a driving to the basket and score guy than he is a facilitator, right?
Yeah.
And LaMelo's more of a flashy facilitator who can score at times. Like, I don't know. I think it could work in today's NBA.
Yeah, it could.
And Miller's more the good defender, all-around guy that would come in and probably be able to make a difference right away, but it would be like an more all-around game, I feel like, in my personal opinion. Then Scoot would just probably be getting buckets. But I don't know.
The number 3 pick is the Portland Trailblazers, who, from all reports we've heard, are trying to move the pick to bring in a veteran that helped Dame.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that veteran is, to be honest with you, at this point.
Like, who are they going to be able to get? Like,
Right.
Bradley Beal?
Like, Bradley Beal would clearly be an upgrade for them, but it doesn't make them a championship contender.
No. It
Right.
maybe gets them... They're probably still in the play-in.
Yeah. Well,
Like-
they've already been that route.
Yeah.
I mean, they had another shooting guard that they.
McCollum.
Yeah, McCollum.
He was good.
So, I really think Brandon Miller. Well, if Damian
I'd say it's a timeline.
depend on the
thing.
window, yeah,
Yeah, I
depends
think-
on his window.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to. If they draft Miller or Scoot or somebody with this pick, I think they'll move Dame afterwards.
Yeah, I would agree.
And then they'll
'cause-
build around Simons, whoever they pick out of this pick. And what was the kid they took last year? Sharp?
Oh, this, yeah.
Sharp, yeah.
Super athletic,
Yeah.
freak of nature guy.
I think
yeah.
they'll build around those 3, and they'll ship Dame and Nurkic and those guys out of town.
Oh, dude, so many teams are going to freak out if that happens. There's so many teams that want Dame and want a superstar. It's going to be...
Yeah. Oh, they could get a nice haul for Dame. I mean, no joke.
Well, and that would be a good, really talented young core to start building around. All 3 of those... Simons is already a really good player, I
He
think.
is, yeah.
And Sharp showed a lot of potential last year. He's kind of still raw, but he showed some potential. And then obviously Scooter Miller are the 3rd pick in the draft for a reason. I mean, it'd be a good core to start with.
The number 4 pick of the draft goes to the Houston Rockets, who are a complete and total shit show of a team right now. They have a whole bunch of young guys that don't play together, don't pass the ball to each other. They don't seem to have any semblance of an offense or a system or anything like that. Now, that being said, they did fire their coach and hire Ime Udoka, who is like a complete and total hard ass. So maybe he could try to whip this into shape. But I think there needs to be moves for them to work. Essentially, they have they're playing 2 shooting guards at guard that are just like me. They had Porter and Green. And then you have the 2 big guys and Smith and Sengun, yeah, who are like standing there, they're like, hey, can I get a shot? Like, hey, can I get the ball?
Jabari didn't develop until like the last 20 games of the season.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get the ball. He didn't get a chance to do anything because it was pathetic. And I think Jabari has the potential to be a great player.
I do too.
And for the first part of last year, I thought he was going to end up getting ruined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that was not a long time frame, but it was just disheartening to watch.
It really was.
But he did come on at the end of the year, and he got the ball more, and he looked better. But yeah.
Yep. So it'll be interesting to see what the Rockets do. The number 5 pick of the draft is the Detroit Pistons, who have a lot of nice young players at this point. You have Cunningham and Ivy at the guard spots. You have who is the big guy they drafted? There was 2 big guys that came out last year, Duran and somebody else, and they took one of them.
Ooh, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, one of them came out of Duke. One of them was from Duke. And one of them,
Oh, it's
Is it Williams?
I think it was Williams. Yeah, but I think I can't remember which one they took. One of them went there. One of them went to Charlotte.
yeah. Let's see. They just Detroit traded with Golden State and got
Oh, I mean they do have Wiseman.
they got Wiseman and then they got the rookie. Oh, what is his name?
What was the first name you said?
It's Duran.
Yeah.
It's Jalen Duran out of
Okay.
Memphis. So they have, well, they've stockpiled failed big man draft picks because they have Marvin Bagley.
Oh yeah, Bagley's the one I was trying to think
yeah.
of.
They have Wiseman. Then they have their own pick and Duran. And they still have Isaiah Stewart, the guy that tried to kill LeBron a couple years ago.
I like their thought process. By
About what, killing
percentages,
LeBron?
one of them should work out to be a really good player.
Yeah.
I really like their backcourt. I think Cunningham
Yeah.
is.
He's gonna be
I don't think he's ever going to be the scorer that people thought he was going to be coming out of college, but he's very patient. He's a nice facilitator. He does a little bit of everything. 3-level guy. I really like the way he runs an offense. And him playing next to Ivy, who was like a fucking ball of energy and like is flying all over the place. I think that's their backcourt has the potential to be very good.
In a year or two, when they get the hang of things and their defense is a little better and they're a little more efficient, they'll be on the rise. Those two.
Yes.
I mean, they're just having young guy problems.
Yeah.
They're just a little inefficient. Need to work on the little things on defense, and then they'll shoot up.
I think last year they would have had a much better season than they did because they brought in Bojan Bogdanovic to be the veteran to try to lead those guys. But then Cunningham got hurt like 12 games into the season and missed the rest of the season. I think he tore his ACL. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit was a play-in team this coming year.
If things develop right, there's potential there. Yeah.
The number 6 pick is my Orlando Magic. We do have some young talent with Paolo and Franz Wagner. So we'll see.
What do you need, Alex? What do you need for
shooting.
Orlando? Shooting?
Shooting. We don't
So
have-
are they looking at one of the Thompson brothers, or are they thinking more that Grady Dick from Kansas? Or
Okay, for me,
I'm asking you as an Orlando Magic fan.
I do want Dick, but I want Dick. Yeah, that sounded really bad. I do want Grady Dick, but I want Grady at 11 because we also have 11.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I don't want to take Grady at 6, but I also want nothing to do with either one of the Thompsons.
Okay.
Because I could outshoot them, and
Yeah.
I don't.
We crazy athletic and
Right, we already have athletic guards that can't shoot. We have Suggs, we have Fultz, we have Cole Anthony. I don't need another guard to come in and dominate the ball and not be able to shoot. I don't need that. I like Cam Whitmore
I'm
from
gonna say Cam from Villanova.
yes, and what's the kid from UCF?
Oh yeah, there is a guy from UCF. I didn't see the UCF guy play last year, but
I don't know. There's a couple other guys, but to me personally, if we took Cam Whitmore at 6 and Grady Dick at 11,
you've got shooting.
I would be so thrilled. I would be thrilled, stupid like that. I would be so thrilled with that.
Do you think one of the Thompson twins would actually fall to you guys?
Yes.
Or wait.
Yes.
Or is one better than the other?
Yeah, there's one that'll go higher than the
Okay,
other.
I think that's the one I'm thinking of. There's one I
One
think
play.
really,
one.
really good.
One is like because they play together their whole lives. So
Right,
one of them,
Yeah.
they're both listed like they can play the point guard, but one plays the point guard all the time, and the other plays off the ball more. And the one that plays point guard is the one that people are more impressed with.
Okay, that's
Right.
the one.
I think his name is Amen.
It's Amen or Asser or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
If the better one, I was mainly thinking of the one mainly. If he fell to you guys, would you be upset if you all drafted him and then traded one of the guards you already have for shooting because they like his potential more? You think that would be a possibility? Because he does have a ton of potential. I think anyway.
If we were able to accomplish what you said, I don't think I would be too upset.
Good
I
shooting.
do like Fultz. I know a lot of people soured on Fultz because he did live up to his number 1 overall draft pick hype, which that ship sailed. He's never going to be a superstar. But he is a very good point guard. He runs the offense really well, and last year he was finally healthy, and his athleticism was off the charts.
Yeah.
Like he had so many highlight dunks. He was in the top 10 at ESPN a lot of nights, dunking on guys. But like I said, he can't shoot. But he's a nice facilitator. He runs an offense. He gets guys in spots. He does a good job there. So I don't. And then we have Cole Anthony, who fell into our 6-man role, kind of like the third guard off the bench, and he really thrived at that. I really liked him at that. And then Suggs is like the defensive bulldog that D's up the best player on the other team, and he's been hurt a lot. So I don't know. I don't know, Wade, to answer your question. That'd be tough. But I guess if we drafted Thompson and then traded Fultz for, some sort of shooting somewhere, I don't know what that shooting looks like. Maybe, because obviously that would open up some money, because a rookie would be cheaper than Fultz at this point. I think Fultz makes like $12 million a year, but at the same time, it's almost like, okay, we're starting over again.
Yeah.
like here we go.
Start that rebuild again.
So I don't know. But as we're talking about people in this room's favorite teams, the 7th pick is Ray's Pacers. So Ray, same question to you. What do you need?
I think we need somebody down low. We need a big guy because we got shooting.
You're gonna put another big guy with Turner?
He hates Turner.
He's not consistent.
But you decided to do a big deal, is what I'm saying. Like,
it took a second for it to click who he was talking about. Like, Turner. He hates Turner.
Like, I try not to.
Should have known that,
but
Alex. He wants to replace Turner.
just want him out of there.
Obviously,
We gave up the wrong guy, is what we did. The right guy's in Sacramento.
obviously you have a very good point guard
Yeah.
in Halliburton.
I love Halliburton.
And then was Sterling? Is that the young guy you got last year?
Matherin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, from Arizona.
Matherin, yep.
Super athletic.
He has some good
He's
spots in the season.
Yeah.
I think he should be in the starting lineup this year.
I agree, but then we're going to have a really small backcourt.
Is he that small? I didn't think he was that small.
He's
Is he?
6'6".
Like, what, 6'3", maybe?
6'6".
Oh, is Matherin that big?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6'6" shooting
He can
guard's
jump.
fine. Oh yeah, he's athletic. Yeah,
But
Super
we got what's Healed or High or whatever the hell.
Buddy Hield.
jump on
Yeah,
your
he's
backcourt
he's
off-
6'6" or 6'7", something
Oh,
like that.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I mean, I know we can get production out of what's that stupid fucker? Our big guy that I hate. What's his-
Turner.
Like I know we can get some production out of him, but like serious note, like we need somebody to compliment him because we got that Isaiah. I can't remember his last name. That comes off the bench and starts from time to time.
Briscoe.
Isaiah.
Did you have the Briscoe kid?
Sure.
I don't remember.
I don't think so. But we got Isaiah something. He plays. He starts from time to time. Comes off the bench.
Which position you talking about?
Power forward. Jackson. Isaiah Jackson. Unless we got rid of him already.
Isaiah Jackson is on
Yeah.
here. Yes.
So I mean, besides him and Young, we really don't have anybody, and they're spotty at best, both of them.
So you want to replace like the 3 or the 4, or one of the forward spots.
I think I like Chris Duarte too. By the way.
Yeah, he's another 6'6" guy.
Yeah. But I agree with you. I do think you need a 4. But I think you need a 4 that can shoot.
Yeah,
You can't have a guy that posts up, as a post player.
right. No, I
Yeah.
totally agree with that. But we need to figure out like what direction we're going with this team because last year was just like we're cool, and then Halliburton gets injured, and then nobody knows how to fucking play basketball. Like I just don't understand. Like they all forgot what they were doing because
Well,
Halliburton got injured.
You're right.
Halliburton was
Once
balling.
Halliburton stops setting everybody up, they looked lost on offense.
I mean, Halliburton was averaging 20 points and 10 assists. He was
Yeah.
a machine. He did a lot. And you guys as a team looked pretty good early in the year.
Yeah, we were in the 6th spot and then
Yeah.
crash and burn.
Well, it's because your best player got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, most people can't deal with that.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, we've been talking about the lottery for 20 minutes, so I'm just going to burn through the end of this, and
Okay.
we'll call it an episode.
Sounds good.
And number 8 is Washington. Number 9 is Utah. Number 10 is Dallas. 11 is Orlando, like I previously mentioned. 12 is the Thunder. 13 is the Raptors. And 14 is the Pelicans.
Mm.
So that is the end of the lottery. So, Uncle Doug, your Lakers pick 17.
Yeah. So we actually have a pick, so
Yeah, you ought to
hopefully
feel
we
happy
don't
about
trade it
that.
away.
Yeah.
And it's, you guys made the Western Conference Finals, so
Right.
it's actually lower than what. I
And
guess
there's
that's probably
actually-
not your pick.
What?
Is that not your pick?
Yeah, it is. Because we have a pick swap this year with the Pelicans.
Mm.
But we finished better in the season than they did. So of course they don't want to swap with it.
Oh yeah.
So that'll have to happen later. And there's still going to be some decent guys that I think can help the Lakers at that point.
Yeah,
So,
I would agree.
Juwan Howard's son plays for Michigan. He's like 6'8", 6'9", shooting forward, small forward, shooting forward, power forward a little bit. There's a kid from Iowa they're looking at.
Jet Howard.
Yeah, Jet. There's a couple other guys. It depends on how they fall. Who picks
Yeah.
what when. So I'm hoping the Lakers make some realistic moves in the offseason. Not stupid moves. We don't need old players. We don't need players that cause trouble.
Yeah.
We need to stick with the young guys that help the team improve and add to that.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable.
I'll leave it at that.
Sometimes small moves are the best moves.
Yep. True that.
Especially when the locker room is happy and they all play together and,
Yeah. I mean, that
nobody's stirring the pot.
was a pretty big swing there after you guys made a few little moves.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap up our talk here on the lottery and wrap up our episode. We appreciate you tuning in for this Memphis Grizzlies episode, and we would appreciate you tuning in next week for our Miami Heat episode, where there'll be a few more superstars that this week, or should I say, there will be superstars unlike this week. We appreciate some emails, some comments, some likes, high ratings if you would like, please. And thanks for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.